So you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title of this video that it's not going to be a happy video. I wish it was. I'm just going to try and get through it. Hello friends, welcome to Chickenlandia. My name is Dahlia. I'm a backyard chicken educator, also known as the president of Chickenlandia. Raising chickens has been the best way for me to find peace and joy in my life, and I want to help you find that too. So right here I have Monkey. Monkey is my little emotional support chicken today because I am having a very hard time. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna put you down. Oh my gosh, guys. So I don't have a script or anything. I'm just gonna tell you what happened. And you know, I do write scripts for almost all my videos because I always forget what I'm gonna say. But in this one, I just want to tell you the story of what happened. Obviously, Bubbalicious died. He died 2 days ago. As you know, from the time that I'm shooting this video, which it'll probably be a week before it comes out. He has been such a healthy chicken, and in fact, recently in a video, I said Bubbalicious is one of the healthiest chickens I have, and like it was literally like 2 days later that I found him in the morning just not looking right. And when you are with your chickens every day and you're observing them every day, you can tell really quickly when something is off. And I was like, what's going on with him? So I got him and I brought him inside. Of course, I did not get any footage of any of this because when I have a chicken that is sick, I don't usually get footage. So, sometimes I do, especially if I feel good about how they're doing, if I think they're going to get better. But if I don't know what's going on or if they're not doing well, I will not put a camera in their face. It's just a policy that I have here in Chickenlandia. So I brought him inside and I looked him over. He had a few mites on him, which is like not uncommon, especially if you have a chicken that is sick. That's when the mites can infest. So it didn't look like this awful infestation. I actually treated him for the mites. And I brought him inside and I just started to feel like, you know what, this isn't looking good. And this was my boy, Bubba. I love all my chickens very, very much. But Bubba is the kind of chicken, like, you know, you look at them and it's like they have a little bit of a person inside of them. And so I was like, I can't let anything happen to him. And so I took him to the vet immediately. You know, they looked him over and the doctor was like, he seems like he's doing pretty well. And he gave him some fluids, gave him a shot of ivermectin for the mites and sent him home. And when I got him home, they said he was doing well at the vet. So I was like really encouraged. But when I got him home, I set him down because I thought, well, maybe he wants to be with his flock, and he couldn't stand up. And I was like, what is going on? So I brought him inside. Here's Binky. This is Bubba's daughter. Hi, Binky Dinky. Hi, Binkity. Yeah, you're a good girl. So over the next few days, or several days actually, I had Bubba on some antibiotics, and you know, that they weren't really helping. And usually with antibiotics, if they're going to help, they help pretty quickly. You know, he just wasn't perking up the way I wanted him to. He would eat a little bit. I just was not seeing the improvement I wanted to see, but I was like, well, you know, maybe he just needs a few more days of the antibiotics. But at one point, I think this was probably about 5 days in to him being sick, I picked him up, and remember, he had gotten a shot of ivermectin, and I had also treated him for mites, and I had looked him all over, including his head and everything. Didn't see anything, just saw a few mites around his vent area. But this time when I picked him up, he was absolutely infested with mites. And I was shocked because he had gotten a shot of ivermectin. You could see them, they were around his crest area, and of course that would make him completely miserable. So I was like, oh my goodness. And I took him inside and I gave him a bath to immediately like get all those mites off of him. And I washed him with a chicken soap that, you know, that when they come in contact with soap, it's going to kill them. So that I got all of those off of him. But the bath was so stressful to him that he actually collapsed. So I put him back, you know, in a really warm spot with a heater and everything, and he just collapsed. And I thought, okay, he's gonna die. And I was very upset, and I gave him the things that I give chickens when they're dying. You know, sometimes when a chicken is dying, there's a call, you should euthanize them, and other times you might want to let them have a natural death. If they're not suffering too much, then I will let them have a natural death. And so I gave him these products that I give him. I'm going to make a whole video about this because people have been asking about it. But I gave him the products that I give a chicken to help them through that death process, because I thought, he's dying. Like, this is it. And I just was like, was it the mites? Like, what was it? And he basically was kind of out of it for a long time. Like, he was still alive, so I was like, maybe he'll come out of it and remember. It's like, I wanted him to live. Like, it was selfish, but I didn't want him to die. I didn't want to lose him. And so I kept having this hope, like, oh, maybe he'll come out of it. To my utter shock, you know, after he just completely collapsed and was like so out of it, he actually bounced back. And the next morning I came out and he was up and he was eating strawberries. And it was like this gift. I mean, I'm so grateful for that, because he just had life in him again. And so I felt a lot of hope. So for several days, he was outside with the flock. I had him in a little separate pen area, and he was eating, and he really liked raspberries, so every day I would go out and get him some raspberries. He was eating, and he was drinking, and, you know, just chilling out with his flock. I could tell he didn't feel well, but I was feeling really hopeful that he was going to get better. And then all of a sudden he really went downhill again. And this time I didn't really see any mites on him, and I just couldn't figure out like what is going on. And I took him to the vet that day, and they were like, we're going to really try and help him. And at about 4 o'clock, I got a call from the vet, and he told me, he's like, hey, he just passed. And they were really sweet about it. And it's been really, really hard. Bubba, you are so beautiful. I love you. He is very healthy, and I'm gonna knock on some wood right now. You're not allowed to get sick, okay? Bubba, you are so handsome. You're so handsome, and I love you so much. Okay, you're gonna have to live forever, baby. When I got Bubba, he was just this little yellow fluff ball. I got him from a breeder, actually. He came to Chickenlandia with his brothers, 2 brothers. One was named Bigfoot, and the other was named E-Bear, and E-Bear is still here in Chickenlandia. When I initially got Bubbalicious, I lived in Chickenlandia 1.0. So if you remember, at one point I lived in the suburbs, and we had a much smaller chicken yard. And here I am, I got these 3 little silkies from the breeder, and they all turned out to be roosters. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But then during that time we decided to move, so it was just like, it was fate that I was gonna get to keep Bubba, and I got to keep E-Bear. I did have to rehome Bigfoot, but Bigfoot went to go live with the Chickenlandia presidential advisor. She's somebody that works with me that I can consult with when I have a chicken question that I don't know the answer to. I always call her. So ever since then, Bubba has always lived here in Chickenlandia, and he always let me pick him up. Bubba's always been really tame. He liked to cuddle, I think. I cuddled him a lot. I think he liked it. But he would tolerate it. And I depended on him because there's so many videos that feature Bubba because he was easy. I could go pick him up and pet him. He was soft and beautiful. And this one, I get upset. Every time a chicken dies, I get upset. But this one was really hard. Really, really hard. And I miss him. And there's always a little bit of guilt because I know you guys love him too, but it's just one of those things. I did talk to the vet because I still don't know what happened, but I have an idea that possibly he was injured, like he had some kind of injury, and he would get into squabbles sometimes with Zorro. Nothing ever really serious, but if a chicken gets spooked or something, they can fly up and hit their head or whatever. And Silkies do have a bit of vulnerability on the top of their head. Like they can get head injuries more easily than other chickens. Because he was so off balance, I did wonder, like, is this a head injury? And also, like, it's almost like he couldn't see his food that well. I gave him vitamins and everything because sometimes that can be a vitamin deficiency, but it just, it wasn't meant to be. But I'll tell you, one thing I'm very grateful for is that I have his son, Gallagher, here. And Gallagher is just coming into his own now. He's been crowing. I'm going to try and get that on video at some point. At first it sounded really pitiful. Now it sounds okay. And he's beautiful and sweet, and he's really small. He's smaller than Bubba. He's smaller than Zorro, and he's a sweetie pie. So he doesn't let me hold him. He tolerates it if I can get him, but he runs from me. Let's go see him. Gallagher. Hey, baby. Hi there. Hey, Gallagher. You are just the cutest. You're the best dad. The best dad. I 100% wish that I was making a different video today because I had planned on, like, when he had that big turnaround, I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is a miracle. A miracle happened in Chickenlandia. And it was a miracle. And I got more time with him. And I got to hold him more, and I got to be with him more. And that was really special, and I'm really grateful for it. So, and I'm just grateful that I knew him, that Bubbalicious was part of Chickenlandia, and he will always be here. He'll always be here. In fact, I have his ashes, and when I get them, I will put them in the yard. And I did tell him before he went, because I knew he was probably going to die. I told him, you can come back. So, my friends, tell me what's going on in your lives. What miracle has happened in your chicken yard recently? Give me some good news. I could really use it. And no matter what happens, I want you all to know that you are always welcome in Chickenlandia.